Hello.
Good day to all you folks. How's it going today?
Happy Monday, boys. We've made it another week. Climbing towards the end of the school year here. Working through it. How you doing, Cheese?
I'm good. How are you? Are you on break right now? How's it working? I don't know how it works here.
No, we're going to be done in about a month. So this next month is like grind mode. Going to have a lot of projects, a lot of garbage got to do, but it's not too bad because it's mostly classes that I like anyway. But summer starts at the beginning of May, and then that goes until August, and then I'm back in it, baby.
Okay.
Baby.
What's up,
What
team?
up, Rom? SM Loda. Oh, wait.
What's up, Flash
PewDiePie,
and Bang?
Optimus,
Ian, babe.
Flashbang.
How y'all
I go to
doing?
UMD, count on Zoli. You can tell from my sweatshirt. Bulldog, baby.
Minnesota.
Welcome.
To-
I'm Simply,
I'm your co-host Cheezo5.
and I'm your daddy, Simply, and this is the Two Dads Podcast Live, coming at you once again. Now available on iTunes Podcasts and Google Play Store.
This is episode 8 already. Feels like it's been what? It's been about 2 months now, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
yeah,
been flying
because-
by.
Right, 8 weeks pretty much. And yeah, we're here. So simply hit me up with the news, dude. You got any news for us?
Yeah, I got some news for you. Well, first, let's go to general news.
Yeah, dude.
General things, I didn't see a whole lot of stuff, but we do got a couple of things. Super Mario Bros. 3, any percent warpless. New world record, 50-55 by Mr. Mitch Flower Power.
I heard about
Craig
that last
has it.
night in my chat. Someone was talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know how good that is, but Mitch Flower Power, notable God gamer.
Mhm.
Of course, we got the new Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker HD, any percent in 103-16 by Gymnast. 86.
That's
Very
awesome.
exciting. They're chopping it down. They got that. I forget what the most recent glitch they found was, but the game's just destroyed.
Every week
and
there's
it's
a new glitch. I can't keep up.
basically that's how it feels.
Mhm.
Of course, everybody heard about Tago getting his hot PB. Has a 48-11 now, I believe. Let me
Mhm.
just double check the facts there.
Yeah, dude.
Yep, second place now.
And he's still
I
in
didn't-
runs as of this moment right now.
Really, dude, he's been on the grind. He actually dropped out of school.
He dropped out
School-
of school.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't like, oh, he dropped out of school. It was like it sounded like he found out that what he's doing isn't what he wants to do, so he doesn't want to be like stuck doing something that he doesn't want to do.
Makes
And I
sense.
know that school had always been something that was like keeping him busy, and he wasn't able to play Mario. So now he's unleashed, and I bet if he, certainly if he keeps going,
Unleashed.
he's gonna
I like
get-
that word.
dude, the beast is unleashed now. Doesn't have work to do.
Right.
Craigasm.
No, it makes sense. My brother did the same. He didn't like what he's doing, so he's doing something else now.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for
just
the
gotta do it.
host, Paracusia, for 96 billion viewers. That's a lot of viewers, man. Congrats on. Oh well, Paracusia is actually part of our
Yeah.
news coming up right now.
He is. Para got a 142-31. Congrats, Para, and thank you for the host, babe. How do you feel about that run? I know you're very capable of 141, so we'll probably see that soon. Cannot forget about Aki. What is he, 14 years old, 15 years old?
Do
you know?
Something like that. I think he's a bit older, like 16 or something.
Oh.
Hmm.
Pretty young, though. Pretty young in the grand scheme of things. Got a new 16-star world record of 15:22, but it was not recorded. He did the run offline. So Zaya still has the world record with a 15:24, but if Aki keeps going, seems to have a really strong drive. Is my voice loud? I can turn it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Should be seeing a recorded world record from Mr. Aki soon, I hope. And
Yes, it's a bit sad. Just I don't know. A lot of people are doing offline runs recently, and I mean it's hard. And for some reason, his recording wasn't. It was like half recorded or something like that. So yeah, they can't accept that, unfortunately, to the leaderboards.
I wonder what was going through his head. Maybe he was just like, he was doing so many runs, he didn't see the point in recording all of them, and he was like on the run of his life, so he's like, all right, I got to record it.
Right.
1419 JRB, dude. Sub 1420 JRB is really nice, I'd say. 2315 BOB. You're part of the God Gamer Club almost.
almost.
But yeah, that's about all I got Do you have anything to say, Cheese?
Well, so I'm gonna talk about today's episode, which is it's gonna be based around the idea of being an influence in the speedrunning community. That's what today is about. Basically everything around the speedrunning community, and not really highly focused in the gaming part itself, but more everything around it.
The culture.
Right, the culture of speedrunning and being an influence in the not only Twitch but YouTube as well. In the YouTube
That's
world.
right.
And our guest today is one of the most famous speedrun YouTubers, and
killing it right now.
Yeah, dude, he's doing great. He has 105,000 subscribers on YouTube right now. So
God damn,
that's awesome. And
that's sick.
Yeah, so let's go forth and bring him in.
Without further ado.
Yeah, dude, I would love to welcome the mighty EZScape. Everyone, welcome.
Hey guys, what's going on?
What
up, EZScape?
Not much, man.
Okay, she said EZScape, but is it easy? It's EZScape. Yeah,
it's EZScape. Yeah.
I didn't say EZScape, did I?
Oh, okay, well maybe that's just your Trinidadian lungs coming out.
It has to be, dude. EZScape. It was like the pause between Z and S. All right.
Yeah.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Just got done with a hike with my girlfriend, and now I'm here.
Nice. Was it very scenic?
Dude, it was scenic. Like you can see everything, but all the trees are dead right now, so it wasn't too pretty of a sight. But I mean, it was fun.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I actually
always good to go for a nice hike.
Yeah, I actually like the view of or winter in general with the dead trees. I think it looks nice. It's really gives me a good feel.
I like the skyline, the skyline against the trees. That's my favorite part of being outside, especially dead trees. Dead trees, you can see it a little easier. I like being able to see all the tips when they got leaves. Can't really see, but that's my go-to. The skyline.
Yeah, dude.
My pleasure. Well, what we like to do typically is go through the background history. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You can go back as far as you'd like. You can go back to YouTube, starting on YouTube, or even what you were doing when you were young, wherever you want to start.
I guess I'll start. Not a lot of people know how I got even into speedrunning. A lot of people in the speedrunning community are who's this guy making speedrunning videos? So I mean, it actually goes pretty far back, because on how I really got into speedrunning, kind of like that. So my parents split when I was probably 1 year old. So I was always going back and forth there. And anyone that has parents that are divorced knows that there's some things you can do at the one house, and then some things you can do at the other house, but not both. And one of the things is my mom didn't let me play Spyro because she said the game was too violent. So
Spyro.
Yep, she thought the game was too violent. I mean, I was generally young at the time. I can't even remember, but I just remember that specifically because when I went over to my dad's house, all I did was play Spyro. That was it, because that was the game that I couldn't play. So I spent all my time playing it. And I don't know, so there's something about Spyro. My dad played Spyro a lot, so a lot of time it was I wanted to try and get the same. He had the 100% save file, so I was always trying to just reach that. But when I was starting out, a lot of times I remember, specifically, I remember in one of the first levels, there's this, you can fly through there and you get to the egg, but there's also, if you keep flying and go around this corner, there's a vase with a butterfly in it, and it's supposed to be a harder challenge essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I would run past that butterfly, because I could never get it, and so I kind of gave up. But every time I ran past it, it's I wanted to get it so badly. I really wanted to get it. So I sat there and I just kept trying to get it. And dude, I was really young, so at some point it just I was so impatient that it just went from me being angry to just actually upset that I couldn't do it. And I kept trying to hand my controller off to my anybody to try and get this thing for me. And they were all no, you gotta learn how to do this. So when I finally got that butterfly, it was just it's just getting that trick you've been grinding for hours in speedrunning. It's that feeling definitely is just carried throughout. And I always just appreciate it. And I'm really glad that they, just didn't take that experience from me, because after crying over like literally crying over a virtual butterfly.
It happens, man.
Dude, like I mean, I don't even know what was going through me then. Like I don't think I've ever gotten that upset now, but it's interesting. So I used to play it a lot. And I would try and get like the 100% status on every single memory card. Like I mean, like I'll try and get all 3 slots filled, and like I was just playing it so like I would just play it so much. Like me personally, like when I find a game I like, I just play that game. And
I'm the same exact way, yeah. To say that, yeah.
I feel like a lot of speedrunners are kind of like that. Like when they find that game that they just truly like, and a lot of people don't understand that, but it's like the same people that are playing like every generation of Call of Duty, and they just keep playing the same game. They're like, "What are you doing playing the same game?"
Exactly.
It's like it's kind of interesting. But yeah. So in my venture of completing like every single save slot 100%, a really weird glitch happened to me. It's called a proxy in Spyro games, but essentially what it is when Spyro can't fit in a certain area, it will like shoot him outwards. Like the game can't have him in the spot, so depending on how it is, it'll shoot him out. But this one was really crazy. It sent me so high up in the air that the entire game map was like a little square. Like it is like literally like a size of like a cracker on the screen. And I've never seen like something like that happen. Like even today, I've never seen like glitches like something that crazy. So when it happened, I paused my game, got my sister, like was like, look at this. She's like, that's a really crazy glitch, and I had never even known what a glitch was. And so I like when I got home, I went on YouTube and like I looked up like Spyro glitch trying to find this one. But that one obviously didn't exist. So I found all these other really crazy glitches in Spyro where you could like skip like into the first boss, skip into the second boss, and I started like learning them. And I would literally try and like speedrun. I would try. I didn't have a timer or anything. I was just trying to see like how long it would take me personally to go like try and get to a certain checkpoint in the game. So I was already familiar with like just starting over and just trying to like do it. And at one point when I was like looking up these glitch videos, I saw in the suggested on YouTube, it said Spyro to done in this amount of time. So I was like, oh, what? So I clicked on it, and I didn't even watch it. I went to the description though, and it said because I was very familiar with Twitch at the time, it said twitch.tv/SSBM stuff. So I like went on to just check out what he was doing. He was speedrunning Spyro, and I ended up staying for the entirety of his live stream watching this dude play Spyro because he was so good at it, and he's still really good at it, and it just blows my mind. It just
still going. He's
still he's one of the best Spyro speedrunners.
What's his name?
But yeah, he's it just got me into it. So I mean, I know Cheese definitely knows that I played RuneScape. I mean, just based off of my name, I played RuneScape a lot. But when I was playing RuneScape, I would always just be watching speedruns on the side. So that's just where all the a lot of the knowledge about speedrunning came, because like I'd be playing it for a lot of hours, but the whole time I was just watching.
Yeah. Because like I mean, it's not a very intense game most of the time. Like you can be duo tasking or like watching something.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
exactly. Be pretty into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I got.
Yeah. Is that still his name on Twitch? Did he change his name? For some reason, I thought he changed his name on Twitch.
Who
are
you referring to?
SSBM stuff.
Yeah, he goes by the name Saboom, but yeah, it's still SSPM stuff. Because I believe it obviously was for Super Smash Brothers Melee, but some guy I recently heard the story and I was pretty interested about it. Apparently, this guy named like everybody in the community. He just came up with these nicknames. So like for him, he came up with Saboom, and if you know like the Rickster, he just looked at his name and he calls him Ricky. So now literally the Rickster's name is like everyone knows him as Ricky,
right?
Like just because like. Everyone really thinks that's his real name.
That's awesome. Okay.
But yeah, what did you guys want to start off with the first topic?
Well, I still have a couple more questions on getting into YouTube. So I looked through your YouTube videos, and about a year ago you made the switch from RuneScape videos to speedrunning videos. Like what gave you the push to start doing speedrunning videos?
I actually made a video on my YouTube channel. It said like Indian and addiction, and that was like kind of like letting everyone know like that because I was just having like a lot of issues with, and I mean like, and if anybody wants to like know more about it, the video is right there and I explain everything. But I just felt like the game was like taking over. I would because I mean the whole reason for me playing the game was to make YouTube videos. Like I really cared less about the game and more about making YouTube videos. That's just like what I like doing. but I realized that like I would prioritize like things I actually needed to do. Like I would prioritize playing the game, and it was getting pretty bad. I was going through a bad time then, and I would play the game just to try and get like over that like slump. So that's even more damaging.
Yeah.
And I like eventually just like came clean to like everybody on YouTube, and I really didn't want to do it because I was like, everyone's gonna unsubscribe from me. Like I had 5,000 subs at the time. I felt like, like, all right, well, it was fun, but all right, bye YouTube, because I really didn't think I was going to be able to keep making content if it wasn't RuneScape content, because that's a lot of the time that's how the people in the RuneScape community are. If you like were starting making other content, they'll even think of you as like a trader.
Really?
But I felt like I had a lot closer of a community around me. There was a lot of people that gave support. And after I posted that video, I mean, I completely understand people subscribe for RuneScape content, and when they, if they unsubscribe because I'm not making it, that's completely understandable. Only like 100 people unsubscribed out of like most of the people actually did watch that video. So I was like, all right, well, I got to put something out. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I literally said this. I was like, I'm like, something will come to me. I know something will come in. One day I checked my my recommended, or like the home screen on YouTube, and Apollo Legend has posted a speedrunning video, like a top one, like GR Smash, and he was growing rapidly. And I watched it, and the videos kept popping up to me. But he was making videos that were like, I mean, obviously a lot of people know about the Salty Speedrunners one, but he was even doing stuff like the chokes and speedrunning. I guess like a lot of it was just about the speedrunner, which is still like that content's really interesting to me. Like it's always about the speedrunner doing something, but I wanted to do something like, but what about the speedrun itself? What about, what about the big, like, and that's what I end up having is like, what, like, it's just always been questions that came to my head. What are the biggest skips? What are the longest speedruns? What are the shortest speedruns? So I just did a little bit of research. I put a video, I honestly, like, that was probably my least worked on video, because I was going based off knowledge I knew, and then like a little bit I found online. And I was basically putting out a test video. This video was supposed to be like, for my audience, like, what do you guys think about this? And I even said in the video, I'm like, this is not like, this is like, I'll be able to do better. It's just like, I want to know what I can work on from this. And then now that video that was not even that well done, in my opinion, or like, and I didn't really expect too many people would watch it because I wanted feedback on it, blew up to now 700,000 views.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't prepared for any of that, because what happened is it actually got the front page on the Speedrun subreddit, which helped a lot because a lot of people gave me advice.
Did you put that on there, or was it just put on there by somebody?
I actually did put it on there because I did want that criticism. I know a lot of people, I know on Reddit, it's like the Reddit to not post your own content on there, but I wasn't doing it. I honestly wasn't doing it for exposure. I really expected it to get 3 upvotes because I thought that's what the video was worth. But a lot of people were like, no, we want this content. Like, even speedrunners were like, we want this content, but especially the people outside the speedrunning community they want to know more about it. They want they want to learn more about it, but they're, if they come into a stream and they see Chizo5 just hopping around and they have no idea what he's doing, they have no idea on anything with what he's doing, and they don't even know how to ask, maybe they do ask and it just happens that he wasn't able to get to it. It's it's really hard for them. So like, it's really good that it's really good that we have the YouTube content out now.
Yeah, and that's worked out really well for you. Is that like, are you also doing a job on the side, or is YouTube your main, like, what's your...
I was at first. I mean, it was really a hobby. Like, even at one point I took like a 3 or 4 month break. Making top 10s is it just got to me. Like, it felt like a grind, and I just wasn't really enjoying doing the top 10s. But the thing about it was I was so, like, you have no idea how worried I was that I didn't want to make a video to put a lot of work into a video that wasn't a top 10, and for it to be unsuccessful, because I thought I could only make top 10s, and those are the only things that were ever going to be successful. And I just went out and did it, and I made the Todd Rogers video talking about the dragster record, and that got like 2 million views. It was just
Hot
equal,
topic.
it was equal. I mean, this was just something I was curious, because all my videos are always something that I was just at first like curious about, and I decided to like go forth and do all my research and just share what I learned.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you make videos of something that you actually care about and you're curious about, it would just make you made the video better that way, because you put all your passion into it, and it made people want to watch it more.
That's pretty inspiring, actually. Like talking about you. I mean, it was kind of like it. And in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big risk. But when you're the creator, it feels like a really big risk to kind of do a 180 on what you've been doing, and you're like, oh no. But it worked out, dude. I'm glad it worked out too. You got some good stuff.
I mean, it's like a lot of times it just doesn't work out for some people. Like it just doesn't work out for some people. I just didn't want to be that guy, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I did end up working out, and like I eventually, like, that's what got me like definitely to start making content again, because the top 10s got so repetitive and stuff. Like what's nice about making a one-off video is I get to format it exactly how I like. Like I love like thinking about how am I gonna do this next video. Like I'll literally like think about it, I'll write it all down, I'll sleep on it, I'll wake up and I'll have like a brand new idea on it. But at top 10, it's like I don't get that kind of freedom with it.
Yeah.
Like one of the videos I can definitely say that I like put a lot of thought into, like almost like a month worth of work, was like the glitch, my video that was like the glitchless speedruns. Just because I spent the whole time like trying to like, and that video ended up being like 24 minutes long too, which, and I think it was 25 hours of work. But
Dang.
that video, that
Wow.
was just like, I really went hard on that one to think about everything.
That's awesome, dude.
So for your videos, like the first one you made, it was kind of, you said, based off knowledge that you already had and then put the clips together. But nowadays, is it like you have an idea and then you have to do a lot of research? Like how much actual research and watching do you have to do per video?
Oh man, it is a lot. Like, I mean, like, because I think a big reason why there aren't so many people that are making content that me or even Apollo or Salt, I think the big reason, like they know it, they already know it's gonna get views, they already know it's gonna be popular.
Right.
You don't have to worry about that. You already know that this is going to do well. So why aren't more people making it? It's because it is difficult. It's a different kind of difficulty, as in like you don't even know where to look. Like if a lot of people just go on Google and they, I mean, that's the thing, is everybody goes on Google and just searches up anything. But if I searched anything regarding Speed Demos Archive, it's not going to pop up on Google. I have to go onto Speed Demos Archive, and I have to go through their actual web archives, and I have to go through forum posts that aren't even like titled correctly. So I have to put in, like, if I'm like trying to find like one thing, I have to reword it 5 times and then maybe hopefully find it. Like even just to find like the news announcement to say, I mean, you would think this would be a big thing, but them saying out of bounds is now allowed, like that was a thing that was like banned for a long time, and like a lot of people wanted it, and it was finally released. There's like a news post that mentions it like lightly, like, and you have to like kind of go down halfway through, and it's like out of bounds is allowed, and that's it. That's the only mention of it. So I think like just even something little like that, like people like it's just so hard to make.
Right.
A lot of work.
It's just, and then like also just formatting it. At least like in like Salt's case, like he already knows how to format it because it's start to finish. But when you're making something that's like kind of educational, you need to base it off of like, you just need to base it off of like, you know how you always learn in school, like writing a paper is like the introduction, this, and then wrap it all together. Like it's hard to do for a video on speedrunning. It really is.
Do you have like a strong connection between other YouTubers that do videos on speedrunning?
Between other speedrun YouTubers or
other speedrun YouTubers, especially like Salt, Apollo. Do you guys collaborate at any time to like to help each other?
We do a lot. I mean, like a lot of times we don't collaborate on ideas, but we all of us except for Salt are in a, so like me, all right, yeah, me, Apollo, Goose, Glad Jonas, and there's a couple other people, like people that people may not know their names, but they may have watched a video from them. There's Retro. He made the Ocarina of Time world record regression video, and he made the cheating.
That was a really good
the cheating video, and he also is working on a speedrun documentary right now. So there's him, and then there's also a new person named Rush. He is the person who used to do the unofficial Games Done Quick highlights, if you've ever seen those on YouTube at all. But he did the unofficial ones, all the ones that are now taken down off of YouTube. And now he's, instead of doing GDQ highlights, he is now doing weekly speedrunner highlights, which is something I think, like, I've been telling people, like, this is going to do. But the whole thing about doing those is you have to be consistent.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You that's the only way to be successful. If you felt like, okay, maybe this week I'll do it, but this week I won't, then you're not going to hold retention. It's just going to fall over. So as long as he keeps doing that, like, that's going to be successful too, because not everybody can keep up with. I mean, stuff happens every week, and like a lot of world records happen every week. So it's hard to, like, just, if you don't go on Reddit every day, you probably won't know.
Got to be dedicated to the game.
Yeah.
I have another question about your process, I guess. Do you get ideas? Is it mostly from your side, like your ideas, or do people request stuff? Do people send in clips for stuff? Like, do you ever do a lot of outreach for things?
For almost every video I have on my channel currently, I did no outreach. Like, I didn't, it was people like giving me ideas. Actually, all right. So the first time I did take I got a lot of comments on people asking me to make this video, and I also was already planning on making it, so I just decided to do it. And I made, and yeah, it's like one I would have made anyways. It's the top 20 shortest speedruns. But the reason why I didn't want to make it is because what do you classify to be a speedrun? It's playing a game from start to finish. That's my basis. If anything is on speedrun.com, it is a speedrun. It was accepted by speedrun.com to be on the website, and it was also it went through a moderation team, or at least one person. So just with those two, like, that was my basis. So I just took everything off of speedrun.com. I had this one guy help me parse through the website, and like, that's how my list was made. And I said at the beginning of the video, I'm like, you guys may not like some of these because a lot of them are going to be like flash games. Like, some of them were like John Cena's Sexy High School Adventure. There was Super Sonic, like, Adventure, like Sonic, like not Sonic, Super Sonic Adventure 2. There's a bunch of shitty like Steam games.
I remember watching that video and literally asking, like, in my head those questions, like, but wait, this is like, I have so many questions, like, would people think this is actually a speedrun, like certain games and stuff? It's so, like, I was asking the same questions, like, is this really what people actually classify this as a speedrun? How does this work? Some of them I didn't even understand. I was like, how is this a speedrun? I don't understand what's going on. They were so short.
I was just going by what we've made to be like the definition of what a speedrun is, and that's
exactly
like because it doesn't make it fair. It doesn't. And I go for an objective list, so it just doesn't make sense that like somebody's like, hey, I actually have the shortest time like right here, and I'm like, oh, well, your game's not good enough. So
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I know that there's a very small minority of people that actually would have gave a shit, but I did. So
right. But
so that's pretty fair criteria.
Right,
I do plan on revisiting that list though, and I was gonna do top 10 shortest 100% speedruns, or it would either be that or just console exclusive, so people that didn't get to see the list that they wanted to see can. So
that's a good idea too.
I'm really interested in that one, the top 10 shortest 100% speedruns, because I've talked about it multiple times in my chat. That topic of 100% speedruns. People have asked, like, hey, Cheese, what are the shortest, like, full speedruns or 100% speedruns? And I always want to know that too. I think that's really interesting.
I think that top 10's happening. I have like 2 other ones, and then that one's gonna be like the third next one. So it's gonna be a minute on it, but no, that one actually is like in the works, just because it's a little bit easier for me to make. I mean, I'm not doing it just because it's easier to make, but because it's also an interesting list. I have a lot of lists that are just sitting in Google Sheets that I'm just like waiting. Like basically, I have I know what I'm going to include in it. It's just I need to cycle through it because like a lot of times I'm just like, I'll just be anywhere and I'll just see. I'm like, oh, that's an accidental skip discovery. Throw it in that sheet. I do it instantly,
Right.
and I'll just keep.
It's a good way to do it. But that adds up pretty quick over time. Find a little thing here and there.
I'll get to the sheet and like I'm like, all right, we got a video like already done. It's hype because it's so making the lists are like the most annoying part because
it's the grind.
It's just the most annoying part of making the list.
Okay, so I have a question about so like in the topic of being influenced, really. Have you really gotten lots of people reaching out to you and actually telling you, hey, you know, you've influenced me so much to be a speedrunner? Have you actually got a lot of people telling you that they're actually influenced by your work? And does that make you more eager to make more videos and stuff?
I think the one I get more than people are saying that I'm the reason that they speedrun now is more that I introduced them to speedrunning. Which is like more important to me is that, you know, a lot of people just don't even know about it. And it's like when they finally they're like, wait, this is a thing? Yes. Like it's just like it's instantly like they're drawn to because it's like you get to see your games played like you would never even imagine. You're like, well, how is any of this possible?
My childhood.
My childhood.
Right.
But as far as people like becoming speedrunners for me, I feel like a lot of people don't like say I'm like a lot of people don't say until like I actually talk to them and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you got me into speedrunning. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? Like,
I know, right?
That's so freaking cool.
I think
it's so big.
I think it's probably the nicest thing for someone to tell me as well. I feel the most accomplished or just happy when people tell me that. It's like, oh damn, okay. Well, I really influence some people then. So you would say you're kind of like the person who is the introducer, I guess, and then the actual speedrunners are the people who get into speedrunning itself.
Well, to touch on that, as far as to be like successful on YouTube, like I'm gonna be talking about something else that's gonna wrap back into it, but to be successful on YouTube, like I've been like kind of like putting in ways for, you know, like just like general advice to people that want to get into YouTube. And one of the things that I talk about is I call it the curious factor, which essentially means that when somebody sees your video, you basically want to ask a question for them that they never knew they wanted the answer to. Because if they could just Google it up. You want to give them something that they've never realized that they were curious about. And I like to use that definition rather than clickbait, because a lot of people throw clickbait around, but clickbait is something completely different. Clickbait is when you were deceived, when you were told that this would be in the video, but it wasn't. Or if what they put in the video was only a very small portion of the video. So like bait is fake, but like what I call the curious factor is like, say like a video like the top 10 longest speedruns. That instantly has a curious factor to it, where people are like, I really wonder what are the top 10 longest speedruns. Why would it be a speedrun and it be so long? And so that was like one of the funniest comments on that video, I remember, because some people are like, isn't it called a speedrun? And I'm like, just because it's long doesn't mean it wasn't fast. Like they're like length and duration isn't like really
that's a
equivalent
huge
to like speed. You know, you don't say a dude running a marathon, you're like, God, he running a marathon. He wasn't even doing this fast. Like, you know,
that's a very common misconception. I get so many comments on my videos too. It's like, wait, if it's just a speed run, why is it an hour and 39 minutes long? Isn't it? I see another speed run like 5 minutes of this game. I don't get it. It's like, this doesn't make sense. Yeah.
So that's what I like. So, but that curious factor, that is what has like, I feel like has brought a lot of attention to speedrunnings, because people, the curious factor can even be that what is a speedrun? when they just see it, they're like, "What's a speed run?" Like
Yeah.
that in itself is just enough.
Right.
So like
I totally agree.
that's really what has gotten like a lot of people to know about it. It's just like that factor.
Right. I agree. When I saw your videos as well, just the title, top 10 longest speedruns and stuff, I never saw videos like that either. And when I saw yours, just the title was like, holy shit, I would love to see this. I gotta check this out. Because I was curious too, even though I was already in the speedrun community for 4 years. I could imagine people that don't even know about it yet or are new to it yet, they would be super excited.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally agree on
and
that.
then to like wrap up what I was saying before, with like my general advice to YouTubers, that's like my one like golden rule is like when you post a video, it needs to have like that curious factor.
Right.
Otherwise you're just not going to get as many clicks, and you also have to like pay attention to like you can't just like go out like, wow, like this crazy thing happened to me, because it needs to be searchable too. Only if you're a small YouTuber, it needs to be something searchable. If you see like vloggers and they post these like crazy like titles and stuff, like don't do that starting up. Don't make crazy titles, because even though you think in your head that it attracts people to your videos, it actually the only way you're gonna get anybody to find your video is through the search engine. So you should be trying to make your titles something searchable, something relevant. That's the only way that you're going to be able to be found. Then you can start thinking about doing that.
Right.
Once you have some kind of data in the system. But the other like golden rule I'd say is make videos that you would watch yourself. That is like one of the most important ones, because like when people are like making like, they're like, oh, I'm gonna make a gaming channel, like make a let's play. I'm like, would you watch that video? Would you watch that entire let's play you just posted over somebody else's? And they're like, oh yeah, sure. And I'm like, no, would you? I'm like, close your eyes, open up, pretend it's not you. Like, would you really watch that? So like when it's like a thing I'm always like thinking about when I post the videos. Like I'll watch my own video be like back, and I'll still be entertained by myself, because I just like the information, like what I researched so much. So that's what like really important to me is like, is this, if it's interesting to me still after I spend all this time making it, spend all this time editing and listening to myself talk for like 30 hours, is this still entertaining? If it is, then that's a good video.
Those are some good rules.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I like that. When you say insane or crazy title, what do you expand there?
When you see, I mean, like if you have like, I mean, it's like usually like the like all like just all caps, and it's like not like it's not clickbait. It's just like, I don't even know. It just like attracts people to click on it. Like it's not even clickbait. Like if you say my cat almost killed me, maybe you're exaggerating a little bit. But if I click on the video and I see a cat attached to your face, I'm like, you weren't lying. But like what I'm more talking about with like clickbait is like, I remember this one dude like posted, like it was a vlog. So like first of all, the thumbnail and the title did not incite in any way that this was going to be a vlog. So I mean, like, not that you have to, but like the dude said that his like girlfriend's like top fell off, and in the thumbnail it's like she has like nothing here, and it's just like you see her shoulders. And once you get 7 minutes into this guy's vlog, you can see that her bikini top just unsnaps a little bit, and he got the perfect frame where it's just that, and then like 2 seconds later she got it. And I was like, so those 5 seconds of what happened in your vlog is what you is like what you made your entire like video out to be.
Yeah, I noticed that, dude. Almost every channel that I watch that's big, they have videos.
Yeah,
like that, with those,
dude,
those
the
titles.
gigantic. It's their fan base is so huge they can just do whatever, dude.
It's
like,
pretty sad. It's pretty sad.
And the arrows and the circles and arrows that people put on
that one, it gets to me. It's quite. I don't really understand it too much.
Like I like, and there's sometimes where like an arrow and a circle would be like actually a good thing, a good idea for a thumbnail. Like sometimes I'm like, yeah, that would actually like that would fit. That would actually be good. But so many people have just they've literally abused it, and it's just become to the point that it's just like
just a shit show.
You know, you look bad for doing it, but the people that don't have any integrity anyways don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, they're just there for the views. And that's another reason why I say like, you know, your title and your thumbnail is like equally as important as the content in your video. because without a good thumbnail title, you're not gonna get anybody to watch your video. But with bad content in it, nobody's gonna watch it. So it is something to think about. Actually, I have a good example. Have you guys, either of you two, recently seen the world record breakdown for Super Mario Bros?
Mm-mm.
All right, well, it's posted last week and it has 1.3 million views right now.
Ooh.
So Bismuth 9, or just Bismuth, he was planning on uploading this video, and when I was talking to him, you need to get it should say world record breakdown, but you need a reason for people to want to click on it. So I suggested a title to him. He ended up using it too. I mean, and now it's there. I'm gonna take full credit, obviously. Not really, but it's I said, why don't you do this? How is this world record possible? That's how you'd want to title it.
Mm.
Instead of just saying Super Mario Bros. World record breakdown, it's how can they do this? How is this world record possible? And then finish it off with that, and that's not clickbait. It's not, and it's just a more attractive title to get.
That's a good title, man.
Yeah, so it's something to think about, and I'm thinking would he have gotten to 1.3 million views if he didn't say have that there? And also the reason why I bring him up as a good example is because just to show that anybody can be successful on YouTube making the speedrun content right now, not just the people that are at the top, and there's plenty of room for more people. Because he had 1,000 subscribers, not even 1,000, he had 700 subscribers on YouTube, and he was able to do that.
That's incredible.
700?
700 subs, and he has 1.3 million views after a week.
No way. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Dude, the viral world.
Oh yeah, speedrunning, dude. I mean, that's the thing. But what he did in the video is that's what everyone is asking. That is the question everyone's asking when they first watch that. They're like, "How is this possible?" Well, he just went down that tube. Why is he into another level now? He's supposed to climb up the vine, right? And it's so interesting when you really learn how the game works, and when they start explaining it, and you're like, how did they find this? It shows that they really dedicated time into it. They weren't just running through it. They planned it all out. Oh yeah, somebody just said in chat that video has more views than the world record.
Yeah.
Does it have a lot more?
What? I don't think it's that much more. No, I think the world record has
a million
quite a lot
more.
Oh really?
A million more?
Oh my god.
Just a million.
I think Cosmic's video had 2. Last time I saw it, because I'm basically only on YouTube. I basically live on YouTube. So you could probably ask me hey, what's the exact view count of this video? I'll be like, oh, it's got the last 3 digits too. But no, I think it was 200. It was 200,000. I remember seeing 170,000, 78, then 231. So it's probably somewhere around there.
So what do you say, talking about all titles and stuff and wording your titles correctly in YouTube videos? What do you say, if I was to name my world record 120 star world record video, instead of being it very precise and being at Super Mario 64 120 star in whatever, if I was just name the video Super Mario 64 entire game speedrun world record or something, do you think it would actually attract more views that way?
All right. I can't answer that one specifically. I can maybe give you some advice on that in a second. But all right. So for one of my videos, it was a top 10 luck dependent speedruns. So when I came to titling that video, I went on Google and I searched. This is all I searched: RNG based, RNG dependent, luck based, and luck dependent. And I went with the one with the most results. So that is a very, very beginner tutorial to search engine optimization. Is literally just looking at the amount of hits on Google.
Okay. And so I'm assuming you do a lot of that. I've heard of SEO before. I've done a little bit, but I know on YouTube it's not as in depth. But that's definitely something that I'm sure you're aware of.
You have to think about it. Even in the videos that don't have speedrunning in the title, I put a little bracket and it says speedrunning, because that's very important to make sure it says speedrunning on it. So that's why I'm saying, if you're saying the entire game completed world record, world record's a very good keyword, but speedrun is a very good keyword right now. So you would want speedrun somewhere in there. But yeah, I mean, so for the best if you want to see what my opinion is on a good like world record title, on my secondary channel, like anything that I title on there, obviously, like that's what I thought about was like a best SEO, because with my second channel, that's what I'm trying to do right now, is I'm trying to build it from the ground up, and trying not to get too much assistance from my main channel currently. And so I guess I can talk about how people can grow just being a speedrunner in a game.
Sure.
So like I picked up this one game. I was just like at I was at GameStop and I just saw this game, the Full Metal Alchemist video game. Like, that's a video game because it's anime, and I was like, I love the anime. And I don't really watch anime too often, but I really like that one. I just saw this game, so I played it and I actually really liked it. And I realized that there was no speedrun for the game ever made. So that right there, if you made a speedrun for it, it was good, and it was good, like a good speedrun of it. Basically, because the game isn't like crazy well known, your target audience is like plummets compared to like a Super Mario 64, obviously. But you now have a niche. You now have anybody that is searching for that game speedrun, you have the full monopoly on.
Right.
So that's like a really good way to grow from the startup. You know, even if you were on YouTube and you like wanted to be like a comedian, everyone's like a funny guy on YouTube. How you can't just get by just by being a funny guy. You need a niche. You need, like, if you're the funny guy that plays video games, and then like once you finally get that following, you can just branch out. But starting, you need to figure out what are people gonna find me with. And like that video that I posted, that Full Metal Alchemist one, you know, it's steadily gaining, but without any assistance from my main channel, it does have 700 views, I think, something like that, from zero.
And that's the first video.
One of like basically the first video, yes.
And would you expand a little more on that second channel? Is this like your speedrunning channel?
EZScape Speedruns.
It's called EZScape
Cool.
Speedruns, yeah.
And like, just think about this. Even with the title, I was thinking, my name is actually a keyword, so definitely needs to have EZScape. But at first, I thought of naming the channel More Easy, just for like a secondary channel.
Right.
But EZScape Speedruns, so there's 2 keywords, and you got the in the title. So that's like another thing to think about. Like, even with your current name, like when you changed it, I don't know if you knowingly did it, but Cheezo 5 Speedrunning or whatever, like Cheezo 5 Speedruns, like now you have a little bit better chance of being found on search.
Tons more sense, yeah.
Yeah, and
thought so.
And like tags like that. And but yeah, as far as like what you would title your video, you just want to like definitely like sometimes people post like it saying like that like run in this amount of time, but like if you don't put world record in your title, like for example Shaden for Super Mario Odyssey, like he never had world record in his title, so right there he was gonna get like the less views, like substantially less views. Another thing that a lot of people don't know about on YouTube though is, and I've told YouTubers about this, but that it's you don't get as much reach if you are not monetized. And the whole reason behind that is because YouTube doesn't make any money off of you. Right. Why are they gonna promote you if they don't make a dime?
Right. Talking about that, I should mention that when I applied for monetization and stuff end of January, I still haven't gotten anything back, and it's been 2 months. I don't know.
Yeah, YouTube right now, I've been talking to a lot of people about this, and I've been trying to get like down to it, and they did make like an announcement saying that basically they when they made the new requirements, they're basically just manually reviewing accounts right now. But yeah, it's been like 2 or 3 months for them accepting people for monetization. One of the people I know, you may know who it is. I think his name's Kaze. He's he makes ROM hacks.
Yeah, I know Kaze. Of course.
Yeah, everyone all right. Does. So what happened with him is he left his network, and when he left it, there was a glitch on YouTube. When he left his like actual network, it removes his monetization off of his YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. What?
And with this going on, with accounts not being reviewed, I mean, this dude has like 50,000 subscribers, and he's getting like good monthly views, and this is a huge like piece of his revenue source. And yeah, he's in the same boat as you are, except for he already had monetization.
So he has to resubmit and wait a long time.
It's bullshit.
Right, basically.
Dang.
Oh my god.
Is that something that's starting to, is that just a glitch on YouTube or?
Yeah, YouTube has its glitches here and there, and like a lot of people like come up with these like fabricated glitches. stuff like that. As far as the thing with like, I know people talk about like sub boxes and stuff like that, but like, and like videos not getting sent to sub boxes, but I've never really had that issue, so I really can't talk about that. But I mean, people like talk a lot about YouTube. One of the big problems with YouTube that happened somewhat recently, because people call it the adpocalypse, where
Right,
basically, yeah, YouTube was what happened is somebody reported to like news sources and like advertisers that this racist video had advertisements on it. And so once it got media attention, YouTube couldn't they had to like take action, and they had to like, because like people like these companies were boycotting YouTube because it looked bad for them to advertise on a platform that is placing ads on controversial content. So they made the requirement to get monetized like 10,000, and then they also have a bot that manually like goes through videos, and like you had to be worried about what you had in your title. All right, so like I remember my one video, it was the most controversial rule in speedrunning history, but it had the word controversial in the title. So I was instantly hit with demonetization. Well, not
Really?
Real quick, I just messed up there too. People call it demonetization. It's not demonetization when you get the yellow symbol on your channel. It is limited ads, so you do still make money from it. You make significantly less.
Oh, okay.
So it's not the same thing.
Still though, wow.
It still sucks a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then like another one, it was like the top 10 like closest races, and I think just because it had the word races in the title, that one also got hit. Because I posted a video, like the glitchless speedruns video, that one went up with absolutely 0 issues. And I make sure like there's no reason for me to like swear in my videos a lot, like, and I don't like try not to. It's just there's never a point where like I'm essentially trying to like teach people something, so it never really like has a place. But
So, yo,
I'm pretty sure they do go to the closed captions that get auto generated. They do, I believe they use those. So a lot of YouTubers, they'll like say fuck, and also sorry cheese, if you had monetization you might have just lost it, but like they'll say like, and they'll like replace it with something. They'll literally replace it. Like I know my one friend Kevin, he'll say fuck and he goes fruit over it, so he doesn't have to worry about it. Like even RuneScapers, they had to worry about saying like PK. They couldn't say like player killing. They always had to take like they couldn't say anything.
So is that
like
a thing now on
people.
YouTube? You can't mention any of those words on YouTube now, or
you just might as well not do that.
Oh my god, that's a little too much.
That is.
Okay.
But I guess it
sucks. And it does make sense, because I mean, honestly, now like I've been making a lot more money off of my ads now, and I feel like it's because, you know, maybe advertisers are more likely to, you know, come I don't know, to put their advertisements on YouTube. So maybe there is a silver lining, but they had to go through quite a bit, because the thing is, the bot was just like, the bot that would like check these videos is like, it was like stupid. Like it would just like, it would hit anybody. Okay. So that kind of sucked.
Interesting. All right.
Well,
go on.
Go ahead.
No, you go on, dude.
Well, okay, that's a good topic to talk about, like censorship in speedrunning. Do you guys think that for speedrunning to, let's say hypothetically, go esports, or like where it's like right now it's kind of in a state where it's getting some growth, but still in the grand scheme of things, like very unknown. I ask anybody about speedrunning, they're like, I don't know what that is, unless they're, you know, in the community. Do you think that's part, like a step of becoming bigger, is you need to hit it with the censorship? What do you think?
Like, yeah, definitely a line of professionalism. The thing is, like, say like my demographics, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I believe it was, I think it's like 87% of the people that watch me are over the age of 17 as well, like whatever their registered account's age is, who knows. But so it's definitely an older audience that's interested in speedrunning, like, but yeah, there's definitely because like when games like Odyssey come out like that, like kids are gonna be like interested in looking about Odyssey stuff, and like and speedrunning may like appeal to them. So like I think it definitely depends on your game too. Like, you know, if you're like Nitro, maybe you should think about like, you know, just keeping yourself clean. You don't have to like say you're not gonna swear at all, but you don't need to like chain 5 fucks together. Like You know, like I guess like one of the people that does it pretty well is like Covert Muffin. Whenever he does like a GDQ run, like he still does like swear during his GDQ runs, but he does it like tastefully. You know, it's kind of about the personality. But at the moment we don't. Who knows what sponsors are like looking at us and stuff like that. I don't know who's really looking at to sponsor like, you know, even speedrunning events. So maybe when we get closer to that stage, we should consider it. And that's the thing is like it's really about the sponsor too, because you know, maybe it'd be we'd get better viewership if we didn't have to worry about censorship. Not entirely sure.
Right.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I had a topic to bring up. I was just wondering if you would like to talk about like your GDQ experiences or talk about GDQ in general, because I saw a video you posted you made a GDQ video, your experience in GDQ.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was you showing your face and your friends and the whole GDQ. Was that one of the first videos that you actually like showed yourself, or you made like a live kind of video? Or
no, I've actually never hidden my face. Like honestly, like I really have never gone through efforts. Like it's just never had a place in my speedrunning videos. My speedrunning, like, and I just think about this a lot. It's like when people like throw their personalities into the videos and stuff, and that is like a completely good thing too. Like, you know, to like have that personality. But at the end of the day, nobody came to the video for you. You know, they're here for the content. So me putting my face in a video just seems out of place. And my most recent video, I did put my face in there, but because I felt like it made more sense to. And there was no game content to discuss, so I decided to do that. But yeah, I kind of lost myself. So like as far as GDQ goes, a lot of people have like mixed opinions about GDQ. Like you even see it on Reddit. People will like, you know, like day one, you already see like 50 threads of complaints, but then by the time you get to day 7, everyone's like, that may have been the best GDQ yet.
Every time.
Every time. And every time
a GDQ list comes out with the game list, everyone is like, this is the worst game list so far. This is so bad. The last GDQ
there isn't this game, my favorite game. Oh, I'm done. I'm boycotting it.
The last GDQ, I got so many people complaining in my chat saying you shouldn't go, it's gonna be so bad, everyone is saying GDQ is gonna die. And as soon as it ended, oh my god, it's the best GDQ. I can't leave. So yeah, it happens every time.
And they're constantly like upping themselves in donations. I mean, summer games on Quick makes usually less. I think that's just because of the time. I mean, like when you get in December, it's like, you know, it's right after Christmas. I feel like people have money in their pockets.
I think also in general, AGDQ has always been more advertised and known as the GDQ that started, and then SGDQ was like the one that came after.
Yeah.
So that's fair.
But all right, so like I guess that's the viewer perspective on, and that's kind of what I think about the viewer, like what I think about viewers' perspectives. You know, a lot of people it just seems like they like want to latch onto something like just negative. Like the first they hear something bad about GDQ, they're like, oh my god, holy crap,
heard about this?
It's like the worst one. And then like I mean, Apollo's video being up doesn't help at all. It like all right, like. When I comment on other channels a lot, and because I just am verified on YouTube now, like people, I usually get top comment easily now. It's kind of really freaking funny, but like, I'll get all the replies sent to my notifications, and I read every comment on my YouTube channel generally, just about every comment, because everything goes to my phone. It's really not that hard to manage. It really isn't.
Right, like, I get all my comments as well on my laptop. They just pop up, and I could read them right away.
Yeah. It's so easy, and then like I respond to any criticism or any questions, really. So, but like when I get these replies, like somebody is like if I like even criticize somebody, like, yeah, well, you support GDQ. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Because I support GDQ? Like because like everyone has this like thing that they think GDQ is like scamming people. And stuff like that. Also, I'm gonna turn my light on real quick.
I was about to say,
just getting really dark.
I thought it was just me staring at the red screen the whole time. That made my eyes like see different. I was about to say.
Not even dark outside too. No. My shirt is like, I'm like sweating through my shirt.
Oh, that's my favorite part. Don't change it.
In the topic of GDQ, I'm gonna wear my GDQ T-shirt I got.
Perfect.
Woo!
Yeah. Well, actually, I didn't get the official GDQ shirt, but I got the one that they did for the 100 eggs. There was a 100 egg Spyro one, so it's a Spyro T-shirt.
Let me
Yeah.
take a closer look at this one.
That is cute.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I like it. Like,
That
I
is
mean, this
nice.
is like an artist that drew that.
Dude, the pink
Yeah.
pants
Keep
and
sweating.
the pink pants and the purple and pink shirt.
Oh,
dude,
and the
this-
pink pants.
this could not get
They're
more
joggers,
pride.
okay? God.
The joggers.
The level of pride right now, I love it. All right.
Is that a banquet? Oh yeah, someone asked. This is a hotel chair. Or I mean, this is my DX Racer. Sponsored, by the way.
I can see that.
We went to a hotel that was closing, and got hella furniture, hella cheap.
That's awesome.
Like this chair was like $5, so we got like 4 of them.
Is it
There
comfy?
you go.
I need to get I'm gonna get a computer chair very soon. Oh, because like you, before we even like started the stream, we were talking about and we're gonna go back to GDQ in a second, but we were talking about like playing a game, like put like speedrunning, like grinding, like playing it. So I had an idea for a video. And this would be right after I get done with my finals week. So it was gonna be a 30-day challenge, and I was gonna stream the whole thing of it. And it was gonna be for 30 days. I would speedrun 3 hours every day.
Mm.
And it would be like a summoning salt world record progression video from the first person. Not that I'm gonna get world record, but just to show my progression in the speed game for 30 days if I was to put 3 hours a day into it.
Is that for EZScape speedrunning or EZScape?
It would be for the EZScape, the main channel, but if any PB, like my EZScape Speedruns channel is mainly just if I get PBs, anything that doesn't go on the main channel, just now I have like somewhere to put that on.
Okay.
So that was an idea I had, and I'm really thinking about doing it, like doing it. Be like a lot of dedication, but
It is.
like people that don't stream don't realize like that it is like tolling, especially if you're trying to be interactive. Like if you were just sitting there speedrunning like and just like playing video games like you normally would, but like streaming for your viewers is difficult.
Right.
It is a job.
It's funny you come up with that and you talk about that because I had that exact same idea like a few weeks ago. I thought about that. I was like, I wanted to speedrun Odyssey and stuff, and I was thinking, what if I was to like put videos like every day about the same thing, like my progress in Odyssey speedrunning from beginning to whenever.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, I just thought, I'm not into YouTube. I don't know how to make videos well. I don't know how the whole process is. I don't know if I won't be able to do that. But I think that's a great idea. Totally agree. That'd be super fun.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm curious on it. I'm definitely gonna post a video, like definitely asking people, or like probably making a post on my YouTube, asking people like what they think about it, if it's like something that they watch. Because a lot of times what I have to think about when I'm making a video is I do have to, because this is my full-time job now. I have to think about my target audience.
Mm-hmm.
So like even when I made the Odyssey video, the top 10 Odyssey video, just because I wanted to. So honestly I didn't care about the views on that one, but I am conscious about the views on like other videos, because basically what I think of when I'm like making a top 10, like say the top 10 Odyssey one, I'm like, all right, because it is a Super Mario Odyssey speedrunning video, the potential views I can get, like the maximum is around 200,000, and that is all I can get.
Where did you calculate that from?
Just by like going through other speedrunning videos. Like even if you like say you like searched up Super Smash Brothers Melee and you went to, for like this month, and you went to the most viewed video, and you're not that person, and like that is at the top of it, then that is your target audience, as long as there aren't additional elements into your video. Because you can have other elements that will make it unique and to a broader audience. Say when people were asking me, like I guess what the target audience for speedrunning videos was, I said it was 3.5 million views, like roughly. But then Apollo makes a video that's I think probably like over 4 million now, well over. But the thing was his was the 10 cheaters, 10 speedrunners that got caught cheating. That has a bigger target audience because that isn't strictly speedrunning. That is also involving cheaters, and people just like seeing that kind of content.
It's juicy stuff, dude.
It's juicy stuff, dude. So yeah, but like that's a thing I have to think about a lot. So like when I'm gonna make a video like that 30-day challenge, it's like I have no way to figure out what my target audience is. So once I have a better idea of that, and but the thing that's making me lean towards I don't care about how many views I get on it, and I'm never really disappointed whether or not on a video if it does well or not, because I have no control over it. To me, being upset about it it doesn't do anything. As long as I put the effort into a video, that's what I should be worrying about, not that.
Right.
But I'll be able to stream all of it. So it'll be about like growing my stream. I'm thinking about doing it on Twitch too. I'm thinking about just like, I usually stream on YouTube and Twitch, but I'm thinking about just doing it on Twitch and seeing maybe if I can get partnered. Just
Yeah, why not?
After 30 days, they're like, wow, this dude's hella consistent. And then just
Yeah.
Bye, bitch.
That would happen really fast. Yeah.
I think I know Salt recently got partnered, and I mean he was getting like 50 viewers per stream.
I don't know,
something
he
like that.
streams?
So,
What is
yeah,
his stream?
I think it's possible. I get I think I average like 100, 200 on my YouTube stream. So if I can get like half that, it'd be cool.
I didn't know Salt streams at all. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing, is he recently started advertising it. So he put videos, I also stream on here, so he went up in followers, and he has 200,000 subs. So if you apply, that they do care about that.
Mhm.
I thought I could get in instantly with my sub count, but it's not like guaranteed either. I mainly want to get partnered. Like, this is the funny part, is I want to get partnered on Twitch, I guess, just to have like verified, I guess, but verified by the way. But I want to like also get my Discord. Like, I want to get the discord.gg/EZScape, but you can't do that unless you get partnered on Discord, and they basically will only like instantly accept you if you're a Twitch partnered, and they haven't responded to my request for like 3 months. So
It took me a long time too.
I didn't apply yet.
really, you'll get in instantly if you're like partnered. You basically get auto accepted from what
Okay.
Goose told me.
What do you get for being Discord partner?
I just want the name. I just want the OG Discord, so I don't have to keep generating links. That's like the whole thing. It feels like I'm playing RuneScape at this point, because I'm about to do this huge grind to get Twitch like it's essentially like grinding so hard to like get a 99, and then you get your skill cape, and all it is so you can like do one other little thing.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and like that whole grind really didn't matter for the end goal.
I didn't know about getting that discord.gg link. I didn't know that you need this partner for that. I was actually wondering where people got that link, because I didn't have one. Now I know.
Are you talking about like the perma links?
Yeah, the perma link, kind of just with your name kind of thing.
That makes sense. I always had those because I just started because I got partnered when I did my channel, so it comes with it.
Yeah,
I'm just partnered, baby. Discord, ooh, no big deal.
So
got money everywhere.
I can't help but to ask, because I saw one of your recent videos about the rumor, or is it a rumor? We don't know, that Apollo Legend was undercover up there with Billy Mitchell is his name.
Yeah, Billy Mitchell. Like, for the people that do have no idea on any of this, basically, gaming legend Billy Mitchell, who was featured in the King of Kong documentary, who like fought with this dude Steve Weeby over the world record for Donkey Kong. And I mean, it was like a huge deal, because he's also like, he's made a living off of doing this. Like he it's not only that he just has a world record time, he's like an icon of some sort. Like he has a really high standing within the gaming community, and he was even marked like Gamer of the Century, and he's known for other video games too, like Pac-Man, and because he was the first person to get to the kill screen of Pac-Man. But it came out that he's playing on MAME. That when they looked at basically MAME, and for people that don't know MAME, it's an emulator. That's all you need to know. And it loads differently than the arcade cabinet. Something with how the beams will load. I don't know exactly.
I saw the video that Apollo made. I saw the difference. It was really, really, really intricate. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, but yeah, all you need to know is it loads in differently, and all of the available tapes of Billy Mitchell's were shown to be loading in differently. So yeah, Apollo. I mean, before all this, the Donkey Kong forums or whatever, they got rid of. They already got rid of score. But Twin Galaxies is the one where there's another dispute because his score is still up on the Twin Galaxies database. So there's a dispute going on there, and they're doing a lot of research because Twin Galaxies also has access to his tapes. And then meanwhile, with all this shitstorm brewing, Apollo had made his Todd Rogers video and like exposed him, got him, and then like a lot of people say that it was Apollo that got him removed off the site. I think it definitely did help with getting it expedited. But it was really the testimony of Robert Merjak, who was an ex-head referee. It was really his testimony that put the nail in the coffin because he has firsthand experience. Apollo does not.
Right.
I think that weighed in way more than what people give like Apollo a lot of credit. And I mean, like you can give him credit for the video, but not for the actual removal. But regardless, he had his eyes set on Billy Mitchell, and then he made a very similar style video where he also knows Billy. But Billy is a different. He's like Todd is like a hobgoblin almost, but then you got him who's like the final boss that is like in RuneScape's General Grotter, like Bando's boss. Like you have a difficult time with this dude because I knew that there was a possibility of, even when he put up that video of him being sued, I knew that there was a possibility because this dude literally sued Regular Show for having a cartoon character that looked similar to him.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, and so after Apollo made the video, I found out a week later, Billy is gonna fly down, or Billy is in Florida, and there's gonna be a King of Kong event, and he's gonna answer questions live. So Apollo, last minute, bought a ticket, flew down to Florida. He had this whole idea in his head. He's gonna dress up like Billy, and he's gonna ask some questions. He actually wasn't going there undercover. Like, I mean, he kind of was and he kind of wasn't. I don't think he ever hid from them that he was Apollo Legend. You know, undercover means that you'd be going in as, but like a guy that's going in dressed as Billy Mitchell. You think he's really hiding? You don't think he wants people to see him? Like, obviously. But he did have, because I originally told him that, you know, maybe he should wear something. Like, I actually did come up with that idea. That I'll take credit for that. But to say that he should wear something to, like, you know, record the conversation with, not necessarily in private. It's just like, you know, make sure you get everything. And it is a public area, so he's completely allowed to have that on him. And, like, you know, I felt like Billy may not be as inclined to respond to anything with a camera. Not that he's trying to like catch him on anything. It's just an extra security measure. But yeah, apparently when he like flew back, he was contacted by Billy's lawyers. So
Okay.
and I mean, I have no idea what he did exactly down there. In the like article, it doesn't even say what he is being, you know, what he could be sued for, if he's being sued, or if he was just like given like a slap on the wrist. I have no idea, because Apollo went silent right after this happened on the 26th, which is 26th now. So that gives you a good idea of how long this has been. Like, it's been a full month.
Right.
Not hearing from him.
I haven't heard anything from him, and I mean, this whole Oceanside thing is supposed to be happening in a month, and I have no clue what's gonna happen. I have no clue.
Speaking of 26, isn't it literally like April 26th? I
I think it's April 22nd or 23rd.
Okay, but yeah, still, like, that's the one thing. That's why Apollo kind of needs to come out right now, is because he accepted money for Oceanside.
Right.
You know, not that he was not paying most of it out of his pocket, like exorbitant amount from his pocket, but
Yeah, he paid almost all of it out of his pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, he did accept money, and you know, that's an obligation he made to people that, you know, decided to give him money. So I think right away, right now, even if Apollo doesn't want to make an announcement, he needs to silently refund these people if the event isn't happening, or if there's a potential of being set back, and he needs to update the GoFundMe.
Right.
But as far as, also I heard that so there's a couple, like, there's like 3-ish rumors that I've heard. I mean, one is like, it's just a possibility that he's being sued for defamation, and then also the recording. You know, I mean, because who knows if they like basically knew that he had that on him, and then what if they brought him to a private room and, you know, basically kind of like trapped him. I you know, I don't know necessarily. Another thing is that Firebrand X, which is, he also contacted me. He was actually the person who called Todd Rogers out on his fake records originally, and he was the one that got met with hate for basically exposing him. He basically said that he cheated barnstorming because if you took out all the obstacles, you still couldn't get Todd's time. So he basically said on the news posts in a comment, he said that the last time he talked to Apollo is that Robert Childs, which was one of the organizers of that event, basically admitted to the board swap. Basically, there was a video
that
of
video
a board.
as well.
Yeah, you saw the video, but the people that may have not seen it, there was a it was literally Billy Mitchell and Todd Rogers, and there was a guy recording and a guy swapping out boards because Billy was at an event and he was going to get the Donkey Kong world record and the Donkey Kong Junior world record. So they were taking the Donkey Kong Junior board out and they were going to put the Donkey Kong board in. So they take it out, they show it to the camera, and meanwhile they didn't have to do any of this. They did this for validation, you know? They did this to be like, we're doing this. They didn't have to record that, but they did. So they showed it. Donkey Kong Jr. put it away. And they're like, here's the Donkey Kong board. It's the same exact board. There's no swap at all. There's no swap. He didn't swap. You can look at it.
Yeah,
and
they
be
didn't
like,
show the video of like two boards and swapping it. It was just the same board.
It's the same board. So apparently Apollo, and the only reason I'm saying this is because it's already out there. It's already public information. I'm not going to try and do anything to screw over Apollo. But so apparently he said this. He talked to Firebrand and said that he admitted to that being fake, which is actually kind of a deal because we have video evidence of the dude lying. I mean, technically, if he's been lying this whole time, we have lots of video evidence of this man lying. And then the other confirmation is that one of the guys that went down there with him, Lord Narwhal, said that he was sick as well.
Okay.
Apollo goes on hiatuses once in a while, and I can't even get a hold of him because I do talk to Apollo quite a bit. And he'll be gone for a week, and he'll be like, "What's up, man? I'm sorry I was sick." I'm like, "You okay? Are you okay? Legit, are you okay?" Because when I'm sick, I'm on the computer more.
Yeah.
So I really don't think it's because Apollo is sick. Because a month of being sick, what do you have? There's no way.
I'm really sick, man. I don't know what it is, but man, I'm sick. I can't talk.
I can't go on my keyboard. It's too much.
So yeah, I have no idea when we'll hear from Apollo, and I have no idea if he's being sued. And I have no idea I have a little bit of an idea what's happening with Twin Galaxies case, but people can check that out on their own because it's still developing.
Okay.
Well, thank you for that. That was an interesting tangent. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Yeah. So let's get back GDQ. Remember we were talking about GDQ for
I was about to mention it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we'll finish that thought and then we can maybe move on. I don't know where are we at currently.
1 hour 24 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's really up to you guys. So we'll finish this, and you guys can just decide. For GDQ, what I said earlier is I was talking about the viewer's perspective, but there's a whole different perspective for when you are actually at the event.
It's completely different. That's correct.
Right.
I guess I will touch on one thing that people may be uncomfortable to talk about, but one thing that gets brought up a lot. That's why I feel like it's worthy of being addressed. Is that people talk about for some reason they talk about that there is an overrepresentation of trans people at the event.
Definitely heard that.
When you are at the event, I can promise you that unless you really cared, you would never notice that. There's not an overrepresentation. It's just the speedrunning community is overall just an accepting community. And
it just so happens that there is a trans person that is involved in the viewing and that is up there doing a lot of the presenting at the event.
Let me rephrase. I mean, I brought up trans because that's one that gets brought up a lot.
Right.
But any minority, we don't care. We don't care because we only care about whether you're good at video games or not.
Right.
You know, that's it. If you have world record and you got 10 arms, we legitimately do not give a shit. It's just that you are a beast at this video game.
Yeah, no, it's true.
That's what's so beautiful. Brings us all together.
Yeah, and and if there is, if people think it's overrepresentation of trans people on camera, it's purely coincidence.
Right.
And because everybody gets an equal chance to, equal chance to run their game, to be on camera, to do any of that.
But and then there's the whole idea of people mentioning that it's a very safe space in the fact that you can't say this, you can't say that, which, I mean, okay, yeah, okay, exactly, it makes sense. But first of all, it's a charity event, yes, and then there's the fact that there are 200,000 people watching, all different ages, types of people, and they don't want you to say the F word a lot when you're playing the game. It makes sense. A lot of people say that people were banned a lot on their runs. They were banned for like GDQs and for a year or whatever because they said some stuff when they were playing their game or whatever. But then later on, I've heard many stories that it was actually a completely different reason why they were banned. And we never really know at the end. So it's like, I don't know who to believe, who not to believe. But I can say, like you said, when you're at the event, it's totally a different experience in the way that you totally feel like everything it's equal. Everyone has their chance, and yeah.
They're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun.
It's just a lot of fun. You're not there to worry about anything. You're there to worry about your run, I guess, if you're coming up. But if you're there just as an attendee, like I am usually,
right?
And I mean, who knows? Maybe my runs will get accepted, dude.
Do anything on there worrying about is if we're gonna stay up for breakfast in the morning,
dude. Simply, we let's do a case race, but it'll just be a 1v1.
A case race.
Dude, I don't drink beer at all. I'm so bad.
He can't. I never cease to be.
Well, I'm not 21, so.
Oh, so
you will be. You will be for this GDQ.
I will be 21 by SGDQ. So Mabes.
It really is crazy.
Blazing Wing challenge.
Right.
Dude, I'll drink whatever you're drinking, dude. Okay, and I'll just match you.
No, but it actually is crazy though that 90% of the people that go to GDQ, they literally say it. They go to GDQ for the hanging out factor, not for actually GDQ. People go there.
You get to do it.
People go there to actually just hang out and party. No one. Yeah. So and I don't really drink. So like I don't even care. I don't even have to drink. I go there and watch everyone drink, and it's fun to just see everyone drunk, and I'm just there laughing my ass off.
It's just a fun time. I mean, and there's always just something to do. I mean, the GDQ really went out of their way to make sure that there's something for everybody to do. I mean, like that's why I try to say in my video. It's an entirely different experience being there because if you're just bored, the World 9 Gaming literally hooks you up with anything that you may need. Even there was a Smash tournament going on. I was like, oh. Can't play because I don't have a controller. I couldn't find anybody to borrow a controller, and I literally just walked up there. They handed me a controller, and I was able to do that. And there's an arcade room, which you can just go down and play some retro video games and arcade cabinets if you want to. They have a bunch of stuff down there. And everyone's generally nice. I'm not gonna say you're gonna walk up to somebody and not have an awkward experience, but you just walk away, and then the next person you try is completely fine.
There are some awkward experiences, but that's just part of the life, man. When you have a bunch of people from the internet, some crazy stuff happens.
Especially from the internet. There was another problem that or issue people were talking about, where the badge system, where people were really, really, really strict on, especially in the last GDQ with the badges. That every 30 minutes, people were walking around every room checking if you have your badge. If you don't have a badge, you were you couldn't be there, you were kicked out, and they made sure that you had your badge. And there was that case with Wizrobe, where Wizrobe was at AGDQ, and he was playing Melee downstairs without his badge. And of course, the guy came down and asked him where his badge was. And what had happened was that Wizrobe's boss, I don't know who it is, actually signed up for him for that GDQ. And when you register for SGDQ, you have to register with your name. It has to be your name, your credentials or whatever. But his boss registered with his boss's name and credentials or whatever, just under the name of Wizrobe. So when Wizrobe went there, and he said, "Oh, my boss has my badge, whatever." And the guy asked, "Okay, what's his name, whatever. What's your name?" And of course, they didn't see Wizrobe's name on the registration list, so he officially wasn't registered. Therefore, he had to leave the event. He couldn't come back. So he flew there without his name on his badge. Even though he had a badge that said Wizrobe, it wasn't under his name. So he wasn't allowed to be there anymore. And that was it.
Yeah, I wanted I mean, I guess maybe meet Wizrobe. I mean, probably get sauced in Melee, but like, yeah, that kind. I mean, so I guess as far as the enforcement, yeah, I can attest to like they would come through and check, and that's a very, very good thing. And like in my opinion, like if they're being that strict on somebody for not having it, that what if some other dude that maybe even looked like Wizrobe? What if they like went up to that guy and been like, no, I'm Wizrobe.
Right.
So and somebody that doesn't know otherwise, and like, and if they got people to be like, oh yeah, we need to get our buddy in to say he's Wizrobe, like them going through that like extra little bit does matter, because they only want people that are registered for the event to be there and not just like other people walking around. Because what happens when somebody gets in there and decides to like go do something very like inappropriate in the stream room or something, like like they need to have control over their event. So like even like when I was like I know like Alan EZScape, he was like wearing mine for like half the event, so they'd be like, where's yours, and be like, that guy. Like every single time.
And then Mr. Beast in chat was mentioned. He asked if he was banned forever.
Mr. Beast?
Yeah, I don't. It's probably not the real Mr. Beast.
Okay.
I was Mr. Beast 1, 2, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, you're saying in
chat. I'm talking about chat right now. I saw the name. I was like, wait, what? Mr. Beast? No, all right. Mr. Beast just asked if he was banned forever. No, he wasn't banned forever. He was just kicked. He couldn't come back to that event for that GDQ. But the thing is, he was quite roughly treated. Like the guy was serious. He was like complaining, "Hey, you can't be here," whatever. And people ask the question, like, why do they have to be so strict? Why do they have to be so rude? It's just a gaming event. Why can't they just excuse him? His boss made a mistake. But then then a bunch of questions arise. But then people ask,
they should have got contact with the uppers. Like they should have gotten anybody from management, and I mean,
I actually think they did. I think they did clarify it.
Well, yeah, they probably did, but it's just like
But people ask the question, like, don't you think it's a bit ridiculous if they be so strict on something like that? But then you have to ask the question, it's such a huge event, because it is huge. Let's be real. GDQ is huge. 200,000 views on Twitch live. It's a big event, and people agree, people don't agree. But it just it gives GDQ a bad name sometimes, with people complaining all the time with the strictness and whatever. I think it'll always be like that. You can't really avoid it.
Well, you really can't.
Well, Wizzy could have easily avoided it if he was like, "Oh, my badge is."
Yeah.
Life's bad.
Yeah,
I gotta do that, right?
Huh? Right. Yeah.
Because I was pointing to simply.
Yeah. Your mic totally cut off by that whole sentence you said. By the way, I didn't really get what you said.
Wait, me or EZScape?
You, yeah.
Oh wait, go ahead then.
I said that Wizrobe could have just avoided that all if he was like, my badge isn't, but he just gave his whole life story about what happened, and then the guy was like, "Oh, now I got you now, buddy."
Right, yeah.
Oh my.
He's not the best communicator at all. But yeah.
Well, changing gears to being an influence, I don't have a whole lot of questions, but one question or discussion I guess we could have is like, what's one important thing about being an influence? Like, what do you think is? And I guess we could just go around and say like one thing, and I guess I'll go first. Being an influence, I think it's really important to be like, obviously if you're in a community or you're into whatever, you're invested and you're interested, you're into it. But I think if you really want, if like as a whole community, if we want to take speedrunning to be like a bigger thing, and I think most people do. I think most people would like for people to see speedrunning, because I think we all love it a lot. We think it's dope. There's a lot of great little things that happen with speedrunning. I think it's really important to take like the extra step in your own community, whatever it is, to reach out to people or to like connect people. And like in my case, what I'm doing is the Big Simp Invitational, I'm getting like a tournament just ended for Super Mario 64, and with Melee, like they always have tournaments going on. Every weekend there's a tournament. So I'm like, well, I might as well start another one right up after that one. And like, yeah, that's my input on that. What's your guys' thoughts?
Who first?
Cheese.
Sure. Well, I think what we're doing right now is a big part of it. Starting a podcast.
Mhm.
I think when you came up to me about the idea of the podcast, I think I told you, like, when you brought it up, I told you that I was like, wow, I was thinking of the same thing. Or I was watching a lot of podcasts when you asked me about it, and I was thinking about that. I was thinking about podcasts, speedrun podcasts, and I thought to myself, holy crap, this would be so cool. I would love to try a podcast, a speedrun type podcast. I think speedrun community could use that. And then you brought up the idea, and I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. Yeah, we should do this. And now we're doing it. I think people love it. We got really good positive feedback. And I know of one other podcast called the Frame Savers. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the only other speedrunning podcasts there are. And yeah,
My Insane Pace.
My Insane
There's
Pace.
another.
Oh, really?
That's a guy. He's just like a guy that does podcasts,
Mhm.
and
Oh.
I believe so. I really hope I don't have it wrong. Let me just go to make sure. Like, I'll confirm that I was right. But yeah, he has a website, myinsanepace.com. And yeah, he does episodes like it's just him, and he just essentially interviews top like speedrunners, or even just like you guys are doing right now, like influencer. Like they have, I mean, I guess our White Goose is obviously both, but I mean they did have there's a lot of, they even had WQQQQWRT on there. If you guys know who that is.
Yeah, yes. Trust me, I know who that is.
Okay, that's funny they had him on there.
What
Still
is
never
your
had me on
opinion
there.
on him?
I don't. Who is this? I've seen the name. I don't know anything.
What's your opinion on him, Easy?
I don't know. He like how I heard about him is basically he was talking about Oceanside, and he was talking about that and Apollo, and then out of nowhere he just started shitting all over me.
Right.
Like just like and I don't even care about it. I was just like,
No,
wait, isn't this about Oceanside? I just got invited. I didn't do anything.
There was he made a video on his channel talking about Oceanside, a really long video too, and it was basically a shit talk video. And I saw that video, and that's where I learned about him as well. And it was basically a huge video of just him complaining that he wasn't invited to Oceanside. I felt like, and he was saying there was literally one point in the video that I highlighted where he said that he was butthurt about not being invited to Oceanside, and I felt like that summarizes the entire video. And I just thought that he was a big meme, and apparently, like I see his Twitter and people talk about him. He just makes really, really, I don't know if weird but controversial tweets and stuff. He calls himself like the alpha speedrunner.
The alpha gamer, yeah.
The alpha gamer, and he's like the best speedrunner in terms of knowledge and whatever. I don't know what to think about him. I never really talked to him.
Not like trying to like call him out, but just like the mentality of certain top runners, they feel like they are almost like owed donations or owed views or owed followers because they're the top runner in their speed game, and that's not necessarily what streaming on Twitch is all about. You're there as an entertainer, first and foremost, because your speedrunning is you giving your entertainment, and you can really only blame yourself if you're not making it entertaining for other people. And I mean, that's just the hard truth of it. That's like, and but I still see it, and not often enough. Like it's not even often enough that I should really be like calling people, because you could call on like specific individuals because it doesn't happen that often, but it's just like, and I think that's just a case of it. I'm a top runner. Why wasn't I invited to Oceanside? Or like, and people were even like, why is EZScape being invited to Oceanside? And I'm like, guys, like I might not even pick up a controller. Like that's the thing is it's Apollo's event. He's allowed to choose the direction. He's allowed to choose like who he invites, and he's going for entertainment value. So
influencer value, I guess.
Yeah, so his idea was to get like, you know, the most entertaining, from his perspective, the most entertaining people off the platform, and a large variety of just different people. I don't think anybody that he invited speedruns the same game.
Right.
Like maybe one, but like that's, yeah, like I liked his lineup for it.
Right. Anyway, so I was talking about my perspective on the influencer and starting the podcast and whatever. And yeah, so I just think that because I don't really make that much YouTube videos and stuff either, I thought, hey, why not? I could do something on Twitch. What could it be? Podcast, live podcast. I thought it was a great idea. I thought it was perfect because, dude, when I was speedrunning, when I speedrun Mario and I'm really grinding every day, I get questions every 5 minutes. There's questions in my chat. What do you think about this game? What do you think about this? How do I do this? How do I improve in that? How do I start speedrunning? You know, how do you be so competitive? All these questions of all these topics. I was like, dude, podcast to answer all these topics, and perfect. I think that would be great. And now we're here doing it. So
really out here.
Yeah, dude. That's my take on it.
One thing, it's like, as for advice for like speedrunners that want to be influencers, and I was thinking about like this stuff before we even got on, is that what you specifically said right there is that you have to like keep like answering people. And if you're somebody that does not like doing that, what you should be doing is think about your explanations. You don't need to go as nearly as in depth as you need to do. Like say somebody watched you go backwards up a staircase. And you started explaining the entire mechanics of a backwards long jump. Just tell them, oh, it's a backwards long jump. And and then just point them into the direction, or have a command in your chat that says exclamation point BLJ, and instruct your mods to do that whenever somebody pops up in there. And if you feel like you want to take the time out to fully explain it, then do that. But what you want to figure out is how to explain, and I do this with my videos, is explain more with like less words.
Right.
And that's the best way to go about it. So you don't feel like you're just like not wanting to respond to people, because if you can give like a 5-second response rather than a full minute response every time you get asked that, you know, make sure, and like especially have like your exclamation mark FAQ if you're somebody like Worcester, and if you don't want to explain the inner mechanics of Pokemon every single time you reset. And then as far as like growing your stream community, and growing your stream community is like the same thing as growing your speed games community. And so you need to represent both. So when you're streaming, you need to check chat, and you need to respond to people. You need to help people out, because that's what people are coming there with questions. And when you answer that one person in chat, you're actually answering a question for probably, you know, depending on how many viewers you have, but more than one person. There's other people that also need that answer. And that's really important. Just, you know, don't take that one question for granted, because that one question, if you answer that, maybe that's what sparks that person, like, wow, that they just think that's really cool. Exactly. Or maybe you show them where to look it up. But I would also just have people, if you speedrun a popular game, point people to Summoning Salt's videos. Right. You know, that's a really good way, a concise way of getting people to, or if somebody's like just asks you the question of like, what are the longest speedruns? Be like, yo, EZScape made a video of that, and it's going to explain it better than I can do holding my controller right here. That's what we as YouTubers are, you know, here for in the speedrun community. We do really like care about it, and despite people may think that we're like strictly doing it for money and stuff, like all of us started making this content when we had no idea whether it was going to get big. Sure, it was growing, but like we never imagined it to be like this. I mean, we had no idea. Right. So yeah, definitely do that. Like you be interactive with your chat, because those are the people. Those are the people that are chatting are the people that have gone out of their way really to. There's a lot of other streamers, and there's a lot of other games to watch, and getting people to come back to watch you play the same game is something pretty special.
That's what I had to resort to as well. When like the point where it gets to a point where it's so many questions, I just have the command like exclamation point BLJ, and then people, I just, you know, I get the same question. There's so many times I get the same question every 5 minutes, and I'm just like, you know, type this in chat, use the command, and you see, you know, But if someone asks like a really precise question that you could tell that they're really interested, then I would be like, yo, okay, you should check out this something solved video or whatever. And then you really get the answer you want. And yeah, dude, it's hard to control sometimes too if you have tons of viewers or asking a lot of questions. But there's many ways. And I just thought, a podcast would be a really fun and different way to be able to answer everyone's questions, basically.
Yeah.
More interactive or more sauce, more substance, go a little deeper into the cave.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Do you guys have any other words on influencing, being an influence?
I feel like we covered it. I mean, even if it was like sporadically throughout this podcast, which basically was, I feel like we hit the marks that are important. And if people have further questions, just like comment on this video that's being uploaded to Cheese's channel. And I mean, I'll get through, respond to any question. Just like I'll end up reading it. So,
okay,
cool. Well, we typically have a Q&A portion, so I think it's time we dive into that.
Talking about questions. Let's get into it.
So if you want to ask any of us a question, head into the Two Dads Podcast Discord and in hashtag questions.
I think to start it off for Cheese, because I've noticed that too. You haven't been playing Super Mario 64. Really, you've just been playing PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds more. Mm-hmm. So I guess what's going on with your future in speedrunning?
I quit. I'm done. No, actually, I was thinking about it a lot today, and well, okay, so it's the general idea of playing Mario 64 every single day is kind of impossible at this point for me to do. And as much as I would love to, I honestly do. Every day I wake up, I think about Mario at least once a day. And I think, God, you know, I wish I was playing Mario. I wish I was doing the grind, but I physically and mentally, especially mentally, can't. I can't do it because after 4 years of so much grinding and arguably being one of the most optimized speedruns of such a long length, it's so hard to just, you know, grind every day especially when you have the world record.
The length is a big thing.
Yeah,
definitely.
And I reached a point where it's like, okay, why not wait for Punk.8 or hopefully Simply to break my world record, and then that would give me that huge motivation boost, of course, to come back and beat it again. You know, it would be even more fun. It would be so much more fun to try to beat the world record that I don't have than to grind for what I really have. You know, so
I see. I feel that. That's
right.
Yeah.
And PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds comes around, right? I have an issue with FPS games. I played FPS games all my life, like before speedrunning.
Same.
So PUBG came around, and then my friends kept talking to me about it, and I started playing it. And the idea of PUBG, like being like a battle royale where it's survival, it's really intense, you don't want to die, you know, I thought it was really fun, and I got into it. And the idea that you could actually play with friends online together also made it interesting for me, because I've been playing a single player game for 4 years straight, just me all the time. Being able to play with friends casually and enjoying it, and it's also competitive. They have the ranked leaderboards and stuff. You're able to be competitive as well. You know, I just found it was really fun. I thought it's something I can do to keep streaming and keep the stream up and keep going and have fun with other games. You know, there are thousands of games to explore. And as much as I do want to play Mario 64 all the time, I gotta play other games too. So right now I'm playing other games and I'm having fun with it until Punk.8 beats my world record, I guess.
Cool.
And then I could, you know, yeah. And I get lots of negative feedback. I pretty much every chat I go to now in speedrunning, people automatically say, "Oh, Cheese, the PUBG streamer, what's going on?" You know. Last time I went on,
that's how it goes, man.
Right. Last time I went to Stivity Bobo's chat, I literally said, "Hey, Stiv, good luck," and immediately someone typed in chat saying, "Yo, Cheese, when the hell are you playing Mario again? Like, you have so much less viewers now. Like, you can't stream PUBG." And then the whole chat blew up for 5 minutes on Stiv's chat. I felt so embarrassed. I was like, "Holy shit, Stiv! I'm sorry." I didn't know. Next time I won't say hi. I'm sorry, because everyone is going out saying, "Yo, you can't say that." Mods would type in chat saying, "You can't tell Cheese what to stream. He can stream whatever he wants." And this guy kept saying, "Yeah, but he's getting so much less viewers now." And and I'm just like, don't you think I know that? Like, I'm just having some fun, dude. It's hard, but again, I'm just exploring other things, and I can't avoid the haters. There'll always be haters, but you just have to get over it.
Haters gonna hate. That's what they say.
Right. And then like Fida asked in chat now, she's wanting to get on the Fortnite grind. People keep telling me play Fortnite too because it's better. And
you don't think so?
I never played Fortnite, but I watched a lot of Fortnite recently, and I just don't like the shooting mechanics. I saw a video on YouTube, a clip of
like
Dr.
Halo, like almost.
Yeah.
Seems like it's like
Yeah, and there's a clip on YouTube I saw today with Dr. Disrespect and Shroud talking about when they were playing PUBG and they were talking about Fortnite, and they both said that Fortnite is so great, it was so well made, fast paced and stuff, but when for some reason they just can't really get into it because it's not like as intense as PUBG, I guess. And I look at Fortnite, I feel the same way. It's like the shooting mechanics, I just don't like them. I don't like the idea of flying around and jumping and shotguns all the time. It's just jumping and trying to... No, I like the realistic kind of intense vibe that PUBG has. And yeah, just to answer that question that Fida had.
Cool. Someone else asked, I guess to me, what specific advice would EZScape me have for Cheese and Simply to grow their shit?
Hit us with it.
So Simply, I've watched your stream. Like I've watched your stream in the past, and I don't like. I used to watch it like a lot more. And so now I don't exactly know like what it looks like. Cheese, I obviously watch you semi regularly. And yeah, just making sure like the stream quality. Once you have everything set up, it isn't too bad. Like once you have like a process to everything, but definitely making sure that your just stream is higher quality. Make sure you have a high quality video. Cheese, you want to make sure you don't have your frame drops. Yeah, obviously, it's pretty like as far as just like having high quality, and then yeah, like I said before, just responding to chat and stuff, which you guys both do regularly anyway. So I guess isn't to help out, but I can really only help out with growing on YouTube. I'm not like a master of Twitch. I do know how to grow on Twitch, but I'm not like the best. But like YouTube's obviously my strong suit. And YouTube is a great way in order to grow yourself on Twitch to get people off of YouTube on there. So like a lot of the stuff that I've said like recently, with like how like growing on YouTube, like what I said for advice for creators, definitely keep that into consideration as well as your titles. You want to get as many keywords and speedrunning you can get in your titles. So if you guys ever like just want like literally want a title check, like I actually do have people that come to me and they're like, what do you think of this title? Like they do it like all the time, like, and I'll be like, oh, maybe you should do this and this, as long as it makes sense, So if you guys just want to like, you'll get more like natural views just for having a different title. But yeah, but growing with speedrunning is like a lot, like it's difficult because you can only grow because you're posting speedrunning videos, you can really only grow on YouTube if you have the world record. So what Cheese is doing, he's just posting a world record video on YouTube and he's able to get, a lot of views. But like, what about, like simply you don't have the world record right now. So what happens when you get a PB? Who cares, I guess? Like, as far as like the general audience that's watching speedrunning, right. They care about the world record, or the people that are curious about it. Unfortunately, they get curious whenever a world record. They're not instantly curious whenever it simply gets a new PB. So highlights would be what you might want to do, because there's currently like and Simple Flips has his own thing that he's doing, but he like highlights in his type of fashion, would be great, because a lot of times I see Twitch clips of like speedrunners, and it'll be like really funny, interesting shit, because you get the people that play the game more than anybody else in the world, and there's instances that happen to them and nobody else. Make your videos like that, make your like And another thing is like try not to like go for like the monthly highlights. I kind of urge for something like how Clint Stevens is doing it, but not necessarily how I don't like I don't really like his like kind of titles or I don't really like his format as much. I know it's like an editor doing it too, but you definitely want to have that curious factor before. So instead of saying February highlights, you want to say like if there's a specific thing that happened and you can basically use that for your thumbnail. If it's like a really glitched out Mario and you have that as your thumbnail and just be like I was trying to grab this bomb and this happened, and have that as your title, and then
that really helps. Yeah.
Super Mario 64. Bam. So a way better video, and it has potential to grow to a bigger audience, and you can grow your Twitch stream out that way.
Yeah.
Wait,
so
what did you?
It's not necessarily saying for you guys to do if you want to, because it is extra work. But for people that are growing their speedrunners, especially like world record holders that don't seem to be able to have content that they can put on YouTube, that's what you can do, and it will work because there's other people that are doing it and it's working for them.
What did you say? You said after the title, like I threw this bomb, or I tried to grab this bomb, and this happened.
Oh, you saying the bracket, or is that what you're saying? Or
yeah, I think that's what you were talking about.
But yeah, you need to have Super Mario 64 in the title.
Yeah. Would you have that first, or does it matter which the order?
I'll do a YouTube search. For example, for my Super Mario Odyssey video, I noticed every video down the line said Super Mario Odyssey first. So that was the only instance where I didn't say top 10 in Super Mario Odyssey. I just said like I think I had I can't remember exactly how I did, but I did like Super Mario Odyssey like before anything else because it seemed to be like a trend. But just having Super Mario 64 in the title or SM64 somewhere. You want Super Mario 64 though, that's getting searched more. Just having that in the title gives you views, just gives you natural views. Like I can even go in my analytics and you can see how people find you. It says YouTube search right there. It just says like it'll say like I got 100 views that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
That's awesome.
Just for having that. So like I guess like for the highlights, like you'd maybe want to say like while I was speedrunning, because if you want to have your keyword speedrunning in there too, it's just something to think about. Once you grow your channel to be something like Simple Flip size, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can literally do whatever you want. So it's a really nice freedom that you get once you get bigger.
Follow-up question. For Twitch, and I guess it would carry over to YouTube in my case, and probably Cheese's case. Do you think layouts are essential, or what's your thoughts on layouts?
Yeah, it can definitely be beneficial. Like when I watch somebody like Gunner Maniac, I really like his layout. Like it's just like it looks clean and it helps. It like focuses on the gameplay and everything. It just looks clean. It looks professional. That can't hurt you in any way possible. It just can't hurt you. So I do like make sure I want to have like what I consider to be like an I guess efficient layout. Like I actually got the person who customized his stream layout to do mine. So I could have all the donators, and I also restream. So I need a chat on my stream so people from YouTube can read Twitch chat can read YouTube without having to have both open. As well as the splits. So yeah, format definitely matters, but before you worry, all you really need though is like look at Clint Stevens' layout. Like that's all you need. It just needs to just do its job.
Right.
But some people do it like just have like the splits there, and it just doesn't look good. There's like I don't know what it is that it doesn't look good, but I don't know if you guys know what I'm referring to, but like sometimes I won't watch a stream because the quality just isn't good.
Right.
I don't know. I usually point out I feel like it's the colors on sometimes people use some really, really bad colors on their live split or whatever it is, and it just sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, the color scheme can really matter. There's recently like a series posted on YouTube where these it's called Tryhards. So if you just search it up from Nerd City. They recently went through and they had his girlfriend, 83 followers on Instagram, and they they literally were tryhards, and they try to see how popular could they naturally grow her Instagram account without having any of these assets the people that are at the top have. And they managed to grow it to 50,000 followers in like 1 or 2 months.
Wow.
Made her like essentially Instagram famous, and that's without buying bots. And it was like all real followers.
Huh.
So there's like a lot of things you can take away from there. But one of the things is like they had like brighter colors because that would attract you to it. So even if you're thinking about like a YouTube thumbnail, like colors do matter, and like what you can actually see, it does matter.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, we got a couple of questions in the Discord, but we're getting close or we're at the 2-hour mark, but like it started around 5:40 something, so we'll probably do like another 10 minutes or so. What games do you run and why do you run them? No guy asks.
Spyro, I guess. I also run with my roommate we run Smash 4, Smash Wii U, all events co-op. So that's just like one that we do.
Subbub.
EZScape with the resub. 2
Welcome
years.
to the
Welcome
fridge.
back to the fridge.
Yeah, I completely forgot I had that. Like, it's honestly been sitting there for a minute, so I use that now. I really like we actually hold world record in that. We got world record 2 days ago and beat it by 40 seconds, but we're still trying to like get the time down even more. Like a lot of people, I mean, like in your case, like you're more motivated to go to a world record, but like a majority of the time, like speedrunners, like world record's kind of a status, but you have a time in your head that you want.
Right.
And if you don't get that time, you're not happy. It doesn't matter if it's world record or not. Maybe you can have your little celebration, but if I got world record and I was up 3 minutes and then lost it all and was up 3 seconds and I got world record, you just wouldn't be happy with it ever. So I run those. I ran old school RuneScape. That's how I got into speedrunning, was because I speedran old school RuneScape, and I did like all free to play quests on there.
That's quite interesting though. I heard about that speedrun. I would like to check it out, the all free to play quest speedrun.
Yeah, it's really, really outdated now. I mean, I've been trying to do routing for like some newer categories, but that was actually one of the things on YouTube. That's actually that was literally my niche. When like I was talking about earlier with niches, that was one of my niches, was that I did like challenge accounts on old school RuneScape. So what you want to do, it's like if there's content people want to watch, you want to make sure you're like the only person making it, because like they don't have a choice. They have to watch you if they want to watch this, or they may not ever get this experience you're trying to share with them. Like and so I was the person that was doing old school RuneScape speedruns. Nobody else was doing that. And literally nobody else was doing it for such a game with a huge player base and speedrunning being popular. So like even those videos I did a guide and I also did that, and like they're not even that great at videos anymore, not in my new standard, but they still managed to get 100,000 views each.
Dang.
And I had like 5,000 subscribers.
Gotta find that niche.
It's important. It's really important, because no one's gonna find you otherwise.
Agreed.
What has been, Swaggy asks, what was the most time-consuming video that you've ever edited on your channel?
It was definitely the glitchless speedruns one, which was like probably 30 hours. That was the one that I spent time. I couldn't even keep track of how much time I was spending on it, because a lot of the time wasn't even like, I felt like I was working on it, but I wasn't really, because what I time myself like on working on it, that's editing, that's research, it's writing the script. But what about when I'm like laying in bed and I'm thinking about like how I'm going to construct this video? There was so much time spent on doing that. So that one was definitely like the most time consuming. But that was definitely the most fun video to make, because you got to think, because I also named it Glitchless Speedrun, so I wanted it to be concise, because the people watching this video are going to be the people watching Glitchless Speedruns, because the title is Glitchless Speedruns. So if you're watching a Glitchless Speedrun because you like Glitchless Speedruns, and you get this video that says Glitchless Speedruns, and I kind of wanted to change your whole perspective on it, not change your opinion on whether you like glitchless or not, but change your whole perspective on why it can be problematic.
Mm-hmm.
if you try and make a glitchless category for your speed game, because of these reasons that I've stated in this video. You can't just make a glitchless category and be like, we're gonna run this now. Everything we already decided what's a glitch and what isn't.
Dude, that video from GDQ with the Mirror's Edge glitchless speedrun. Did you see that?
Yeah.
What they were like.
Well, that
memeing
was
the whole
actually one
time.
of the videos I included into
Right.
that glitchless.
Yeah,
That was
I
like I
remember
had
seeing
like
that.
a lot of big topics that like I wanted to cover. But yeah, that video, that one was really popular, so I wanted to touch base on it.
I have a follow-up question to that. How did you learn how to edit and construct videos and stuff? Mainly like the
I
editing
guess-
skills. How did you learn how to do it?
That's a good question. I actually learned very early on. What was it? I was in. I can't remember. I think it was 5th grade. I was in an art class and we were doing an art competition, and my teacher she taught everybody how to edit. The thing about my art teacher is I was always a kid like not that I was bad at like making artistic like stuff. It's just like if it was something I really didn't like doing, it just was always gonna turn out like shit.
Same.
And like I remember like one of my art projects, like I mean like everybody was hung up, but mine was behind the classroom door. If you open up the door, like it always covered it. The door is always open.
Right.
The door was always open, so like it always covered mine.
Rip.
So my teacher already had that kind of like was thinking about me that way. But when it came to this video competition, like I figured out how to edit super quickly because and like she had me do all of the editing because like everything just seemed like seemed better than what everybody else is doing. Like instantly threw me on the team, like despite like what I would have thought she would have done. So after that, like I definitely started learning editing because I watched a lot of YouTube. I was like really interested how this stuff works. And it was like Windows Movie Maker for a little bit, but then I learned about Sony Vegas because I literally wanted to make like Call of Duty like stuff, like, but I didn't end up following through with it. But I learned a lot just making effects and working with effects and learning how Sony Vegas worked. I did like certain stuff that I had to make videos for in like the past. I had like other YouTube ventures, but I don't really feel like getting into that. But that was like one of my sources of income for a while was via YouTube and making professional looking videos. I'm like not the best editor by any means, but like that's kind of how I got started in the videos and stuff. I originally joined started making YouTube videos mainly because of the YouTuber Critical, if you guys know Penguin Zero. Critical. Which is like maybe like why like sometimes like I tend to even like sound like him is just because he was the person who really like inspired me, like literally inspired me to start making YouTube videos because like when I was in high school, I was generally bullied like a lot. Like I moved to a new high school. Like I really didn't have, I legitimately didn't have any friends, but like, so I was usually like upset most times coming back from high school, but I would throw on a Critical video and, I could just stop thinking about that for like that period of time and just worry about tits and whatever else he's talking about for that period of time. And I sort of wanted to be that person for somebody else. So that's really why I started making videos, like tutorials and stuff. I started like making videos that I thought would help people out because other people have done that for me on YouTube without ever asking for anything in return. And so that's why I always like end every single video with, have a beautiful life, because, I never know what like that person may be going through, but like, I know just me hearing that back then would have like probably turned my day around.
That's awesome.
Oh, so what do you say? It's easy editing, easy to learn, I guess. I always wondered. What do you say it's easy to learn how to edit videos on YouTube?
Yeah, there's tutorials and there's a lot of easier programs that are set up so that you can learn a lot easier.
I just want to know personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to learn if you don't want to. Like with anything.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, with literally anything, it's it is a how speedrunning is a skill, but you can learn how to do it. So is editing. It's you can learn how to do it if you want to do it, but it's very very mind numbing if you don't want to do it.
Okay. All right, so moving on. GameCube SSB asked, what would you say are the flaws of GDQ?
The flaws.
Mhm.
They don't always make the best decisions in the heat of the moment. I don't think they would disagree with that, honestly.
Yeah, I agree totally.
Yeah.
And it's harder to, like, you know, on the spot think of like specific cases, but I mean there definitely has been. I know Glink like posted a video where he talked like quite a bit about that. But I think people don't give GDQ enough credit, where they do make a lot of accurate decisions too. No one ever goes, you know what, good call GDQ. It's always shit.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
I mean, and you guys want to chime in here on any of that?
No, I agree with what you said. I don't think I have anything else to add to that. I don't know about Sim.
Yeah, I don't really have anything. I think it's pretty good, dude. I think GDQ is pretty solid. Like, obviously, in a certain way, but it's like the position that they're in.
You know
being
what
so
you're
large.
getting into when you watch GDQ. You know, I really have no surprises whenever I'm on there. I'm never like, wow, I can't believe that just happened or anything. Like, and the only time it ever gets like brought up is when one-off. It's a lot of times with GDQ, it's one-off cases. Honestly, it's usually one-off cases, and they really have seemingly not many issues for running a live stream with 100,000 people watching for 24 hours for 7 days. Like you would think there'd be so many more issues.
Yeah.
For the issue, there are like definitely issues. All right, there's audio issues with the VODs. That's just that's unacceptable at this point, at this stage in the game. You know, even like last GDQ or AGDQ, maybe 2017, like they were like there was you couldn't. No, it was Summer Games on Quake 2017. There was no audio in the one ear. Like you wouldn't hear anything on your headphones. That's I don't even fuck that. You know, like why they have hired audio engineers to do this stuff for them? You know,
it's true.
They're being paid to do the job. I don't get paid. I mean, I do get paid for videos now, but I don't get paid to make sure of something that just seems obvious. So there's definitely certain issues with that, but I'm actually working with GDQ, you know, like as far as doing the highlights, and you know, I've been reaching out to them, telling them like what we can do to improve them on YouTube. You know, what are the issues? What can we do better? And just like stuff that I've thought to do is like I told them, like, you know, if you can have one of your art guys make a template for me, next GDQ I will make custom thumbnails for every single video for you guys. You know, because I'm like going to be working like with them and doing highlights and stuff. So that's like one thing. It doesn't take a lot of time to do, but that thumbnail can make like a huge difference. It's like a really big difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Versno, for the resub for 3 months. Welcome back to the fridge. Appreciate
Welcome to the fridge, babe.
Presenting talented young scuba diving fridge.
Well, we do have more questions, and this is something that I didn't mention at the beginning, or Cheese did. Well, we both did, and we also talked about it with EZScape, and I think he brought up a good point before the stream that the podcasts, while we do get a lot of information in them, I think it's more realistic to shoot for like 2 hours or like have a constraint. So right now we're at about 2 hours, Cheese, right?
About
like
pretty
2
much
hours.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So we should have shifted to Q&A a little earlier, but we'll get in the hang of it. But what we want to try to do is make it a little more concise, make it a little more digestible, I guess is a word, like less, because 3 hours, it's like, come on. You know?
Yeah, I would not sit down if I was to think about it. And like EZScape mentioned before, if you're having a video or something, you're posting something, you have to ask yourself the question, would you listen or watch it? And I personally would not sit down for 3 hours watching a podcast. So I think it's a good idea to keep a 2 hour maximum on these podcasts. Very sorry. But I think I'm not really sorry, because I think you guys would prefer it at the end of the day as well.
Yeah. But like EZScape said, if you do have questions, you can, or like obviously you guys have questions. We didn't answer all the questions. You can post them to the YouTube video. It gets re-uploaded. And yeah, that's about all I got on that note.
think there was this one more question that I can touch on really quickly.
Sure.
And they basically said with the issue with GDQ is that they have 5 or 20 minutes before the actual video starts, and they're remedying it. The reason why they do that is for somebody that may have had donations read or something of that sort. That they can go back and see that. Or it's of the whole event. That's what the VODs are, but they're broken up in that way. But they still have to leave that in there. So that's what they do. And then them leaving in the description of like being able to skip to like a certain spot. That's that they need to be doing that now. Like there's
That
no
makes
excuse.
sense. Yes.
There's no excuse. Somebody in the comments is doing your job for you.
Right.
There's no reason why I have to be like, all right, let's see who the hero is that put in the timestamp.
Right.
So they did that last GDQ. They did that. They everything like. And it makes my job even easier because I was working on the highlights and they literally have it interview, like even the interview, and then like when the run starts. So if you wanted to watch an interview that happened, it was right there. And while you may think it makes sense for them to separate them, it doesn't, because the interview standing alone would just make clutter on their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
They would need if they wanted to do this. Maybe I'll talk to them about opening up a second channel if they wanted to, and they could just link to that VOD. It would be so much work, but they could link over to it. So if people wanted to figure out, find the interview that happened before that one, maybe they could go there, but I don't think it's an issue.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I actually personally am really interested in the interview parts of GDQ.
Yeah, they're usually pretty good. They do a good job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what's your flex on us a little bit, EZScape? Hit us with your social media. What are you doing?
Well, YouTube, EZScape, Twitch.tv/EZScape, Twitter, EZScape YT. The guy who owns EZScape just won't give it to me, and he stole my name format and my avatar. So.
Oh my God! Really?
And Twitter is basically like, yo, we're not gonna do anything about this because they basically don't have any proof of impersonation because he has this thing hidden.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I'm trying to get verified on Twitter just so I can get it. At this point, that's the only way I could do that. But yeah, so EZScape YT on there.
Let me get your. I should have these set up, but.
You're good. Dude. So yeah, there's that, and I don't believe there's any other social media that
Facebook, Grindr.
Oh, Grindr. Well, I have a different name on.
Yeah, I found you there. Don't worry. I'm kidding.
My username is Shizo5's dad. So.
Well, that shouldn't be too hard to find.
Yeah.
Shizo5's hot dad. Okay.
Cool.
Well.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for EZScape for being here. I really appreciate it. We both really appreciate it. Everyone appreciates it.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. And maybe we might have you back in a few months down, or we gotta check out more of your videos.
You know how to contact me.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for being here.
A whole lot of valuable information. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Right. Hopefully,
we can have guys. Everybody have a beautiful life.
Yeah, dude.
Bye. It's been the Two Dads Podcast Live.
See you guys around. We'll be uploaded to YouTube and iTunes. Give us iTunes and Google Play rundown quickly again, simply. Can you do that?
You could find us on Google Play and iTunes. Should be, okay, you're going to upload this tonight, right, Cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that should be up by tomorrow, up on iTunes and Google Play. And our previous episode should also be up on there now, for people who are wondering.
Yes.
So, yeah.
All right, so thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you guys next Monday for the next episode. Who's the next guest, simply?
I'm working on Siglemic, but he's a tough cookie to crack.
Yeah,
he's a tough guy. So I don't want to say Siglemic. We'll just say it'll be
determined. Yeah.
To be determined. Yeah.
Also surprise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you everyone for watching. See you guys next time. I love you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace.